TV, bringing you the true and independent view.
It is time to have a new conversation about our community, our history and heritage, our fighters and heroes. Time to highlight opportunities for growth within our community, home and abroad. This is Black Ethnic Minority Stories told by real people. This is The Mint Show.
Welcome to The Mint Show, the table shaker platform as we call it. Today we're going to be touching on African matters, well, as we usually do. Would move around the continent from Zambia to Nigeria and what actually affects the BAME group in the UK in general. We'll be talking about issues and solutions. Again, my name is Faith Rukia Abudu. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and let the conversation start. Today with me, I have got Olutayo Ojobe, popularly known as MC OJB, 33-year-old dad of two, also a comedian and Nollywood actor. Olutayo moved to the UK back in 2006. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you for having me today.
Again, we've also got Kunda Chizo, 27-year-old organ transplant specialist nurse. Moved to the UK back in 2006. Kunda is from Zambia. And another participant of ours is Nnamdi Uche, 26-year-old CEO of custom-made jewelry and workwear called Nnamdi Jijola. Well, he said that will be moving into Nigeria soon, expanding the business. Nnamdi moved to the UK back in 2013. He's a degree holder of chemistry and forensic. Right, brilliant. Okay, so Nnamdi back in 2014, 2015 was a participant at the United Nations debate for nuclear arms disarmament. Thanks for joining us, Nnamdi.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Again,
on Zoom, we have Olatunji Ibrahim. Abiola. Olatunji is an academic auditor at Imad School, Lekki Peninsula, Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us, Olatunji. Okay, so let the conversation start. Guys, thank you for joining once again. On today's episode, we're going to touch on very sensitive issues and we hope that we can provide the audience with possible solutions and hope they can relate with topics that we're going to be touching on. First of all, as Africans in diaspora, do you guys think that democracy is actually truly practiced in Africa?
Democracy in Africa is not really practiced because the people in power are putting their hands on the mouths of the people, and the people are raising the problems that are happening in society, especially in Africa. But the people in power are exploiting that. I also feel like education as well is the biggest impact because obviously the people in power are very educated, so they kind of exploit the people and below them. Mm-hmm. So when the people below them try to raise an awareness of something that's happening in Africa, they don't listen to them. And then when you add that with tribalism, traditional values that...
My question is it that they don't listen to them? Or for instance, because technologies make things easier these days, anybody can go online and actually scream out issues that's happening within the continent. When that happens, do you think that directly the African leaders are not listening or not doing anything about issues raised? And then the Western leaders, do you think indirectly they actually want to suppress
the reason why I'm saying,
African voices?
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying that it doesn't exist is because, for example, in the Western world, right, look at how many people who say things about Donald Trump, right? But they say the craziest things. You know what I'm saying? They say the craziest things. Like if Donald Trump was a president in Africa, they wouldn't say that because they are scared. You know what I mean? That they'll implement some sort of action that the people who are poor, they'll put them in a situation where they are forced not to say something. They'll make them scared. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that will be some part of Africa though.
Yes.
Because if you look at what happened in Nigeria, for instance, the youths are saying enough is enough. It doesn't matter who tries to suppress them. They're basically getting their voices out there. But are the leaders encouraging the youth to actually speak out? Look at what happened to, I think, Eremosele. One of the youth leaders, he was arrested based on the aim. No, Eremosele, one of the activists, based on the NSAS police brutality movement, he was arrested. I mean, other youths, and then you got DJ Switch. Other youths seeing what's happening. It doesn't matter how much they want to get their voices out there. They want to make sure their voices are heard. Would they be encouraged to, or should youth actually damn the consequence and carry on pushing on?
I mean, in Nigeria, people lost their lives because the people in power could do so, and they had to do something to sort of try to stop the movement. And I'm sure that they thought, if a couple of people died, then people will simmer down, and I don't know why they thought that would work, because some of them also in their day were
activists like these. They were trying to get rid of the military, and they came out and they protested and did things like this. And then when they got in power, with the military, some military former military rulers and leaders now being civil politicians, mm-hmm. They're using the same tactics and the same people. So I'm not sure why they thought that would work. But when I come back to your question of democracy, I want to say something. Like you said, it's hard to generalize because there are different the different scenarios, and it's really difficult to generalize because people are facing different things. But in, for example, Uganda, we have a leader that's arresting the opposition, and so for democracy to work, that can't be that people in power try to extend their stay by any means necessary. We have that in different ways, but in what's Mugabe's country, Zimbabwe, where we thought that this leader, and some people said it, they said, oh, this guy would just come and be the same, or kind of another version of Mugabe. And let's say Mugabe was a dictator, obviously, but when this guy came in and everyone thought, oh, it's a new day, he's doing things that.
But can you truly call Mugabe a dictator?
Yeah,
if you look at the system of Saudi Arabia, places like Dubai,
I think
putting restriction on WhatsApp conversations and things like that.
I think Africa
is that just not protecting their country away from the Western world?
But still dictating.
In all essence of it, I think Africa really wants to practice communism instead of democracy. But because of this Western world and because of everyone that's enlightened, they would not want to say we want to practice communism. But we want to write down democracy on paper. But in real life, we're practicing communism because many of these people, many of the leaders, they hang on to power and they really want to dictate how the people should communicate or how the essence of which you can talk to them.
And I agree with that.
So it's like when you're going too far, they want to do everything possible to silence you. And that's what's happening in Nigeria.
It is time to have a new conversation about our community, our history and heritage, our fighters and heroes. Time to highlight opportunities for growth within our community, home and abroad. This is Black ethnic minority stories told by real people. This is The Mint Show.
welcome to the main show. Today with me we've got JJC. You would have to tell my audience what your full names are.
Well, it's JJC Skillz.
Skills. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I left
so
that out.
It's like double barrel.
Oh, okay.
And
Why?
there's a reason.
All right. I was going to
Okay.
ask. Why is that?
My real name is Abdurrashid Bello.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to when I was born in Nigeria, I was born in Kano State in Nigeria, and at the age of 14, I moved to England. So, first experience of going to class, all the Africans in class, I mean literally all the Africans started calling me, "Hey, JJC, JJC."
What's that mean?
And exactly. And I was like, what does that mean? And they said, Johnny just come.
All right.
Oh, I'm like, oh, I just come. Oh, that's fine. I'm JJC. Yes, I'm fine. I'm JJC.
Okay. So how long? Well, he's still stuck with you now.
So
though,
what happened is
anyways.
they kept on like using it, and I was like, fine. I actually just didn't mind because I was new and I didn't understand all the jokes. They were like, obviously they were laughing at me, but I didn't really understand the jokes.
Right.
So it didn't really bother me. So, but then I started exhibiting my skills. So because they were like bullying me in class, or when it's like break time, I will go to play football and they would just gang up and beat me up and stuff like that. So I stopped playing with them. So I just went to the music class and I became best friends with the music teacher, who gave me access to the music studio.
Alright.
So I started making beats and learning more with my pianos that my brother was teaching me at home. From there, people would walk past and hear like this cool beat and they were, wow, who's that? So one of my people that used to like bully me became my friend, and then kind of became like my bodyguard in school.
Right.
And then ultimately we became like a group together and started making music and yeah. And yeah.
And that was it. So,
And then they started
so
calling
that-
me Skills.
Okay, that's where I was going. So that's where the JJC
See?
Skills.
So it's literally
It's a
JJC.
mouthful, though.
Yeah, it's JJC with skills.
All right.
If
cool.
you understand it,
yeah.
it's JJC Skills.
Right.
But it's actually JJC with skills. And
Okay.
JJC was saved by skills.
Cool. I like that. All right. Okay. So you mentioned you moved into England at the age of 14,
Yeah.
and then you were bullied and all that.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Because if we follow the Black Lives Matters movement
Yeah.
and then the recent NSAS protest that happened in Nigeria, one thing that this whole thing has got in common is the colored nature and the discrimination we face out there. So you as a 14-year-old boy at the time, moving into England, how did you feel settling in and being bullied?
I mean, for me, my story is different. And I would say a lot of people have a different tale. My one is different because at the age of 14, I had an understanding of Nigeria that was different from other people. I loved Nigeria. I loved everything about what I was going to do in Nigeria. I had dreams and hopes. Then my dad died. Then my family, literally, my sister adopted me and took me to England. I didn't have a choice in the matter. Obviously, thank God it did, because it gave me an opportunity to see things in a different, like, I was able to gain knowledge that I wouldn't be able to actually have access to
If you
in
had
Nigeria,
stayed
if I
back.
stayed in Nigeria. My first day landing in England, I opened the, after everyone packed the bags and entered the house, everyone was excited. I came out, I snuck outside, opened the door, stepped outside and looked around. My next door neighbor came out and said, "Go back to your country, you monkey."
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did you not record it? You should have. Anyways, it was spontaneous, so you didn't expect
This
it.
was like 1991.
Jeez, yeah, there wasn't that much highlight on everything going on
Do you
now.
understand?
Right.
So it was like, and that was a bit confusing to me.
Hmm.
So I went in and I went to my sister. I said, the next door neighbor just said I should go back to my country, you monkey. He said, oh, he said that because you are black. I said, no, but he was black.
Seriously?
Yeah. Then she went, oh, is it those Jamos?
Right.
So,
Okay, but
then I went-
Jamaicans,
then I went-
they're,
then I went-
they're part of the ethnic minorities,
Then I
aren't
went
they?
to her, who's Jamos? She went,
Right.
oh, it's some other black people. but they're lost. So,
I agree.
so there's this thing about division within the black
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I addressed it, right? The way I addressed it was to create a song called We Are Africans, right? The reason why I did that song is because, especially when you live in England.
Did you do that while you were in England, or
Yeah.
was it? Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So while I was in England, it's very, very, very like clear that it doesn't matter if you're Nigerian, Ghanaian, Ugandan. Listen, you're black,
And that's it.
and that's it.
Color determines it.
Your melanin,
Yeah, that's
gives
it.
it away. You can bleach, you can do whatever you want. You're still black.
Yeah.
Okay. So once I kind of got used to the fact that I am black, then I tried to rally my black brothers and sisters around me to have the same understanding that together we stand, divided we fall.
Right. Okay. So in saying that, look, the high percentage of debt rates we have right now in England, particularly during this pandemic, it's amongst the coloureds, right? Now, you mentioned something about you gathering together your black brothers and sisters. It's not everyone that's got that support network.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are struggling with identity crisis. They don't even know where they're from. They're blacks. It's like the example of we had a guy on one of our programs is an African American, and most of these group of people, they African background, but they don't know where in Africa. So don't you think you being able to gather together your brothers and sisters at the time sort of settle things down for you a bit?
No, I think people get it wrong.
Right.
This is what I feel like. Okay, let me break it down. I was born in Kano. At the age of 14, I left Kano, Nigeria, and moved to England. 20 years later,
Right.
all my family moved to England. The last born of the family jumped on a plane and came to a town he has never been before, Lagos. Determined to find a way in Lagos. I rented a hotel and stayed there for 6 months. And day by day, started getting to know people, getting to know what's happening.
Weren't you scared? Was that not a big risk? Like,
Okay, people,
you just left England and then just jumped on the plane. What was your plan at the time? What exactly? I know you've got that passion for the industry and for your music and all of that, okay? But I take it you were probably in your 20s or something at the time.
No.
When was this?
This was 10 years ago now.
Right, so you were early 30s, mid 30s,
10
thereabouts?
years ago. Yeah,
Right.
so I was 34.
Right, okay, so yeah, mid 30s. Okay, so when you worried security situation in the country, you not knowing that many people, there is no support network, what was it like? I mean, I'm sure at the back of your mind, there must be either a plan or you were just going to swing it.
I had a plan. My skills would get me there.
Okay. Some people are going to say, excuse my French, you're chatting shit.
No.
Right?
No.
Some people are going to say that. Because what about people that haven't actually got... Because I think you're looking at it from the perspective of the musical side of things or creativity side of things.
Creativity side.
Right,
I'm looking at it purely from the creativity side of it. And most importantly, I am, what do you call it? My wife always say, I will need to long. I'm happy. I'm easily, no, that's the wrong word.
Contented.
Contented, yes.
Okay.
I'm easily contented.
Mint TV, bringing you the true and independent view.